I hear you have a problem with people saying Bello Bella and not Bella Bello. Tell us a bit about your name.
No, I don't actually have a problem the way they place it. My name is itself is shrouded in mystery, just as my origin. A lot of people place me as being Nigerian or from northern Ghana, and I'm not neither of these. I am from the Volta region, from Qatar.
Wow.
Yes, my grandparents migrated part of them migrated from northern Nigeria, yes, so the roots are there, but that's about 150 to 200 years ago. But my maternal side come from Georgia in the Volta region. So I am Bala Bello Bitugu. Bala is a Hausa name simply meaning Kweku, a Wednesday born boy, and Bello is something like it has been fulfilled in the Hausa Fulani language. And Bitugu is actually a hamlet, used to be a town and turned into a village and now a hamlet in Salaga in northern Ghana. My grandfather was a Muslim missionary, moved from northern Nigeria, went to educate, and found himself with his teacher in the present day town known as Bondugu in the Ivory Coast, Bondugu. So he studied there, and after he qualified, he moved to Ghana, and that was during the time when the Ashantis were at war, and the middle belt of Ghana was actually blocked. So he was in the north, created a station in Salaga, and he was called Malam Ibrahim, but they used to call him Bitugu, the man from Bitugu. So the Bitugu remained his name, and that was why we took up. The Bondugu turned into Bitugu. No, I don't have a problem if people mix up, but I think people are more comfortable calling me Bello, even though that is not my name. Bella is my name. Bala is the name. Bala is my name, a Wednesday born male. But people are more comfortable. They are aware of Bello, and they also know, when you look at these Romanish languages, the A ends for a female and the O ends with a male. So they prefer calling me. And then the Bella itself is actually not a male name, Yeah. So people prefer calling me Bello. Everybody, in fact, 90% call me Bello, except those who are very close to me. And I do not have a problem with that. I've come to accept it. So that's about my name, really, and my origin.
Wow, Keta.
Yes, Keta in Georgia. Kuli, Tagbati, yes.
You go home?
Of course, I go to the countryside a lot. If I do big holidays, I do them outside Ghana. But if I'm doing internal holidays, mainly I go to the Volta region. I go to Qatar. I'm very present over there, very present. The various festivals, Christmas, New Year, Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha. I'm a practicing Muslim. And I go there. So, and I do a lot here. We do a lot there. Yes, I go home a lot, yes.
Tell me a bit about, your time at UG. I mean, how's the experience been like for you since you took the position as the director of sports at the University of Ghana?
I cannot complete this story without paying respect to a very huge tree we just fell 2 days ago, Dr. Emmanuel Oswansa. May his soul rest in peace. He lived for sports and lived for Ghana sports, and he died and passed in Ghana sports. May his gentle soul rest in peace. Condolences. He was a man who knew his sport. There is no human being without a fault. We all have our imperfections, but he served Ghana, he served sports. And I have a very long history with Dr. Emmanuel Oswansa, and I cannot narrate my entry into the University of Ghana without mentioning him. May his soul rest in peace. And I really pray and hope that the family will have the energy and the strength to go through these very difficult times. Around 2004-2005, the second wing of modern sport for development, was introduced around the year 2000 through the efforts of Kofi Annan when he was the UN Secretary General. And that was how I entered sports, because my background has to do with development studies and anti-discrimination. Those were my specializations. I just finished my master's at the time in Austria. And then it came up, and I was involved in NGO work also in addressing all forms of discrimination in sport, but especially football, and also all forms of development channels. And then this issue of Millennium Development Goals came, and that sport was a central tool to achieve those development goals. So I joined the bandwagon. It was like a huge flight, you know, from down there up to the UN level, EU level, Austrian government level. I was everywhere. And then there was a program. I was a Ghana fan ambassador to the World Cup 2006 in Germany. And I actually received a Fair Play Prize from FIFA on behalf of the fans at the time. In the run-up to that project, we had some initiatives using sport as a tool and as in fighting discrimination. Then came 2008, CAN 208. But before then, the United Nations wanted to support the sport for development journey and initiatives. And I'm Ghanaian, I was Ghanaian, and I had the opportunity to do something with and for Ghana. In fact, for many countries. And I thought, come on, well, I'm from Ghana, why don't I bring it there? Then I brought it there, and then I brought it here, and I met Dr. Emmanuel Suansa, who was in charge of some aspects of sports in Ghana. And the rest became easy. So we knew each other from that point. There was a long break. We brought sport for development initiatives to Ghana. And there was a long break. We had the CAN 208 initiatives. Then the World Cup South Africa came, where I was doing something for Africa and Europe. And then I decided to come home. So 2012, I relocated. And then 2 months after, I met Dr. Emmanuel Suansa. And he said, no, Bella, where you are is too small for you. Come, I'm leaving Legon. Come and apply. Consider if you'll be taken. I applied. I went through all the channels. We were interviewed. Shortlist was made. So he introduced me and said, look, apply. Of course, I got the job based on merit because I went through the process. I was qualified. I was interviewed. I presented my resume and others, yes. But he was here, and then the director. So when he left, I succeeded. And that was how I came to University of Ghana.
So that was 2012?
Yes. So I came to Ghana at the University of Ghana in 2013.
So actively, you've been working for 11 years?
Yeah. Yes, if you like.
How's the experience been like for you in the last decade? Because a decade is a long time.
Yes, very true. You know, I had privileges. I was living well and good in Europe. I had good job. I was exposed. I was working UN, UEFA, Austrian football. I was teaching at the university, but then I started reducing my schedule on teaching because I really loved the new area I got into. Research, publications, lectures, seminars, interventions on the ground, and the rest. But then I was tired of Europe, so I decided to leave. And when I left, a lot of people even thought there was something, I had a mental health to have left all these privileges, but I just wanted to come back home. But of course, not until I got a job. So my first job was Right to Play as a country director. So that actually brought me here. I did that job for 1 year. I realized myself when I was told that this is too small for me. The challenges were becoming less and less, and then I thought this is an opportunity at the University of Ghana. I could do academic work. I can also do practical field work. So I got a job and started in October 2013. My experience here has been vast. For so many years, I really wanted to do something to change the face of sports, to give it a different interpretation, to bring it near people, to let people understand it, and not only that, narrow perspective or perception of sports and sportsmen and women or the sports industry. I really wanted to do much, and especially through scholastic sports at the University of Ghana. So when I came, Dr. Emmanuel Ansah just exited, and the university established the sports directorate around 2009. So it was a relatively young directorate. So everything had to be done from scratch. I took up the mantle. I realized there was infrastructure deficit. There were not many policies. There were documents all over, strewn all over, but no policy direction and the rest. So I felt this is a baby I need to nurture. So I started with facilities, infrastructure, promotion, creating visibility about the sports directorate, making sports attractive to the people, making it known, not only in competitive or elite sport, but also recreational, physical activity for health, for self and for community. And I also led the process together with my team. We worked together, designed University of Ghana policy on the admission of athlete students, which brought University of Ghana at the core, where we had fantastic athletes. You know them, call them Grace Obo, the Dazis, the Solomons, the Cadmans, and so on. We had a lot of them, attracted them. We realized that the policy alone may not work, so we established the sport fund, and that's the only type in Ghana, only kind in Ghana. No tertiary institution has a sport fund, so we established the sport fund, and the rest is history. You can see the result.
So it was through you that UG got a UG pass?
Yes, we established the UG pass when I came. We designed the UG pass when I came, yes.
Was that part of your marquee initiative? Let's say when you were leaving right to play, you did say to yourself, should I get this job at UG? These are some of the initiatives I will be bringing on board.
Yes, exactly. I knew that there were certain initiatives. Of course, before you get such a job, you have to write a motivational statement. I think of about 5 pages. You were limited. I could have done less or more, but we were asked. So there were a lot of things you need to bring in there, you thought. And when I looked at the sports eco system, I realized these were the things that were missing. And of course, I have an experience also with the European system. And so when I came, I realized the first and foremost thing we need to do is to do an admissions policy. And you see, I got this motivation from 2 angles. The first one is, University of Ghana is oversubscribed. A lot is so popular, a lot of people want to come to the University of Ghana. So it becomes very competitive. Not many will get. And you will also agree with me that student athletes spend a lot of time sharing between learning and sport. And I felt that they are at a disadvantage. So we need to promote, support, and motivate the student athletes to take up sport so that they are not disadvantaged. So the policy was designed in such a way that if you are a talented athlete up to, say, super zonal level, then with the minimum requirement, which is aggregate 24, you are eligible to be admitted. And that's how we got a lot of them. Because often the University of Ghana, by the time you get to aggregate 16, 17, 18, the door starts shutting. But if you are a talented sports student, student athlete, a potential one, up to aggregate 24, which is the GTech requirement to enter and read a degree. So I knew that we need to do that to attract the best sporting talents. And I also realized that there were no policies, documents that one can refer to. There were letters, documents here and there, but they were not put together, composite documents, to say this is the policy addressing A, B, C, D. So this was my these were my motivation, and I realized it had to be done. And then the University of Ghana also supported me and my team, and we did that. So it was a collective effort, but of course, as the director, I led the process, and it was a teamwork, and that resulted in those policies.
Would you say it's been a success, the UG class?
I think it's a huge success. It's been a huge success. We are still working on that. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been where we were, where we are. We wouldn't have been where we are. We wouldn't also have been able to give opportunity to our students. At least last academic year alone, about 11 or 12 of our athletes left for further studies and further training. About 2 of our very, very good coaches have left for further training, which shows the caliber of coaches that we have. And when you look at the African Games, the statistic is that between 70 and 90% of athletics were from people who had relationship with GUSA or are still with GUSA. And out of that, you can say 30 to 40% were from the University of Ghana. If you give or take, the Cadmans, the Azamatis, the Solomons, the Senecas, and so on and so forth, So you realize that it has created opportunity for the young men and women. What we actually want has propped up University of Ghana sports and has actually elevated the University of Ghana sports to a level where we have become, as usual, contenders and pace setters. So it has been a success, both the UG pass, the admissions policy, and the sport fund. And of course, this would not have happened without the teamwork of the sports directorate, the coaches, sports organizers, administrators, and especially the support we got and we continue to get from senior management of the university, from the pro-vice chancellors, registrar, and of course the overall boss VC, not forgetting the other units and sections that support us in enhancing our work, the finance directorate, the academic directorate, the HROD, the HR directorate, etc.
At UG, I'm quite a young man, right?
Yeah.
And when I was growing up, when I got to high school, a lot of people really wanted to come to UG, and some of the students who were doing sports wanted to be on the UG class. I didn't understand that back in the day, but now I do understand. You look at everything we've done here, from when Busa 2020 wasn't like this. Busa 2020, we had a lot of bits and pieces. Would you say that under your tenure, there's been a massive infrastructure development under your administration?
I think we often do not say certain things. We often do not shout because we do not want to trumpet ourselves. It should be said from outside. But I do believe, if I have to answer this question, yes, there has been a massive leap, a massive development, not only in terms of sport performance of the University of Ghana, but facilities. Up until now, we have our football fields. They could be better. We have our ball courts, the basketball, handball, volleyball, the tennis courts. They need refurbishment, maintenance, and the rest. We could do better. We could get more, and the rest. But we are happy we have some of the best facilities compared to other universities. In fact, even major universities in Ghana, bigger ones, we are top in terms of infrastructure. And then, of course, the University of Ghana Stadium, the warm-up, athletic warm-up track, and then the rugby stadium. The stadium was always the vision of the university. The university always had this intention for a university stadium. And so it started the process. Of course, it's a public funded outfit, so it was supported by GET Fund. Of course, the project stalled from 2008-29. And then I came into the scene 2013. And in fact, interestingly, before one of the questions during my interview was, what of the stadium? And I said, inshallah, I will complete it, or it will be completed under my tenure. And it has come to pass. Here we are, state of the art. Nothing, there is no university in Ghana that has such a facility, no university in West Africa that has a facility, no university in Africa that has such a facility. All thanks, yes, of course, we are public outfit. Of course, thanks, fantastic to the government of Ghana. Yes, we had a dream, we had a vision, and we've been supported, and it has happened. We thank the government, the current administration, which has made it possible. We have been working throughout since, I think, for the past, I think, 8 years, 9 years, that the project started. Before the African Games, we had already gotten some money. We worked very hard with the various administrators at the university, from the past vice chancellors with Get Fund. We did the seats. We did the seats before the African Games, and we did our offices where we are now, and then the utilities, water, electricity, and waste drainage, and the rest. We did them before the African Games idea came, and here we are, and we've done it. Yes, it's a success. So University of Ghana can boast of fantastic facilities. It's a benefit to the University of Ghana, but I will be limiting it if I'm only talking of benefit to the University of Ghana. No, these facilities are not benefit to the University of Ghana, but the whole of Ghana, the whole of West Africa, and the whole of Africa, because the benefits are just unimaginable where they end. It is not only UG. This is something where UG may even get only 10% of the benefits, but most of them will be our national teams, Ghana sports, and African sports.
Do you think this facility should be handed to the University of Ghana to manage, and not the National Sports Authority?
Yes, I think it should be handed to the University of Ghana for two basic reasons. Research, literature, evidence have shown all over the world that the best maintained sports facilities, especially in this part of our world, are best maintained, are best controlled and managed when they are under an educational institution. And here we have University of Ghana, not just any institution, but University of Ghana. 2, the expertise are there. 3, we have seen examples of facilities under other units and sections and departments. We have seen what has happened. And with us, with the little that we have or had, we were able to manage and contain them. And we think we have the expertise, having gone through the building process from zero up to where we are now. And we started the concept of sustainability and maintenance, the legacy project. University of Ghana started a year plus ago. A committee was established to design the sustainability and legacy concept. The recommendations were accepted, and so a broader team was established by the Vice Chancellor. Today, tomorrow, we are presenting the operationalization of those recommendations. So we have worked very hard and continue to work very hard to make sure that we showcase what University of Ghana does, can do, will do, and to showcase that it is possible, it can be done, and we will make this a case study for everybody in Ghana, in West Africa, and across the world. Not many such cases exist. Not many such cases exist that we have such a mega event and such a facility on the campus of a university after a mega event, and this is very, very classic. It's one in town, but we believe we have the ability, we have the know-how, we have the expertise to make it a living example, a legacy that will benefit not only University of Ghana, but Ghana, West Africa, and Africa. We think we are the best to manage this. Of course, it is on our campus, it is on our territory, and we have all the commitment and focus to make it work.
That's powerful. Look, I would tell you this, and I think behind this, I was telling you that I've attended, well, I've been part of Busa games. I have experienced Busa KUST, I've felt Busa UG. I think the Busa 2020 at the University of Ghana is the best thing ever, or the best Busa games ever. Tell me a bit about how UG got the bid first and some of the things you put in place to make it so different, because right after UG and Busa 2020, we went to KUST and you could tell the vast difference in operationalization, handling of the athletes, the facilities. So what made the Busa 2020 so special and gave fans, the athletes, a very unique experience?
Well, I think it is the organization and management of the games. First of all, University of Ghana did not bid for GUSA. GUSA games, we don't bid. Okay. It rotates. It rotates among all member institutions of GUSA. So, of course, if it is the turn of a particular university and that university does not have the facility or what, it goes to the... It wasn't actually our turn. I think it was... There were two universities who should have hosted. One was UPSC and the other was another, I've forgotten, but they couldn't, so it came to, so we took it up. What went into it? It became a success because, you see, when you are exposed, when you are informed about high standard events, mega events, when you have a dream, when you have a focus, when you've seen it all in other parts of the world, and when you come and say you want to replicate some of the experiences, when you want to think global and act local, those are the results that you get. We went into GUSA very well prepared. We were focused. We knew what we wanted. We want to set a standard. We want to lead the industry into another realm of performance, of hosting, of sporting activities. We wanted to think global and act local and set a pace and a standard. And so we put all the structures there. And in all my life on campus as the director of sports, one thing that kept me moving was the support I got from the University of Ghana committee, especially senior management, from Vice Chancellor Dan West, and then my team at the University of Ghana Sports Directorate, who sometimes maybe might not have understood my vision or my focus, but later, as a leader, as a team leader, you have to, bring the people together to understand where you are going. Not everybody will understand, but bring them along, dialogue, and when they see the proof and other things. And I think those are the things that made us to excel. And people still talk of that GUSA. It was very, very much a success. And because of all the things that came to play, there was almost no fault, with the organization and management of the games. And because we had the vision, commitment, time, support, and the know-how and expertise, and with the experience that were gathered from elsewhere, we said, look, this is what we want, this is what we do, and we planned, managed, and executed.
The GUSA was so well done that till now, Ghana still benefits. They were all there.
I know. Yes.
I remember
Azamati.
Azamati was the
Latifa.
Yeah, all these
Seneke.
All these athletes came from the GUSA, and from that we have a silver 4x100 gold.
Yes.
4x silver and bronze. We have
Fun.
100 high jump gold.
Yes.
In both divisions.
Yes.
You look at it from where you sit. Do you think that Ghana is reaping from that high standard you set?
Yes, of course, I believe so. I think it can be defended that the exposure, the motivation, the strategy, the organization, the focus, the vision which went into the games, and such things, the legacy is not only the immediate gratification for such investment. Such investments are patient investment, and you get them later patient, silent and patient investment. That is what we did. And that is what we have been reaping, and up to today. People were motivated, people were exposed, people felt, there are things, there are benefits, there is support. And when we get our athletes, we don't only, I often give the example, we don't use them like a kebab where we get the meat and throw the stick away. We support them, we have mentorship so that they don't have problems with their academic work. Even if they have to travel and the rest, we organize and they come to rewrite. We get mentors for them to support them in their subjects, in their courses where they have difficulties. We make sure we track their performance and their records. We give them the opportunities, motivation, inspiration to perform, to train, etc. And it is something that has paid and continues to pay. And we have been doing this on and on and on. That is why every year we produce. Fortunately, unfortunately, we get them going elsewhere to perform. But that is ultimately what we want, to empower the youth and to enable them to realize their potential. And that is the secret, and that is what we have been doing, and we are doing, and we will continue to do. There is always room for improvement. We will improve upon that and move on. And yes, that has resulted into where we are now.
Dr. Bello, you look at where you are. Every year you recruit, you try to recruit. You get students coming on the UG pass, you get students coming to the sports directory, you groom them, give them, the patient build up. Then somewhere across the line, they can't tell you that we want to attend a different university, or a different university, since our transcripts have been approved. So we want to go and study West Texas A&M or South Florida University. How does it feel like when students come to you or come to the direction and say, we want to move forward? Or is there a specific policy that says, okay, top performing athletes from UG have the opportunity to send in their transcripts to foreign institutions so that they can transition properly from the rest of Ghana to the foreign universities?
Oh no, you see, it's like a father or a mother having his or her children very close to you, in the same room, the same house, whatever. At some point you have to let go. They will find their way. They will go their way. They will want to move on. And I think it is the same thing here. Ultimately, you have to give your children the best training, the best upbringing, the best opportunity. And that is what we do. If they get the opportunity because we have nurtured and groomed them and developed them, and they can move on, yes, we want, as parents, as managers, yes, 4 years at the university, they have to move on. Of course, we would want them to be here and perform, and for us to be proud. Yes, of course, the school, would you call it lose? I wouldn't call it lose. What is the purpose of the school? To produce human resources. You've created the opportunity. They have some opportunity they've left. Yes, of course, we want to ask, what can the university benefit? That is the question I would want to ask, and that is the angle I would like to take it from. Not because we have groomed them, we have trained them, and they have gotten another opportunity. They have to move on. You have to move on in life. Whatever job you are doing now, it gets to a point you want to say, look, I want to move on, I want to change, I want to do this. It's the same thing with me, with any other person, most likely. And the students too, after some point they may want to do masters, they want to go and further their studies, they want to improve their performance, they want to train. And if they get opportunity elsewhere, yes, if we create that opportunity, then we are happy. It's not a loss. It is a benefit. It is on our record. We will shout about Lo Solomon. We will shout about Kadma. We will shout about Azamati. We will shout about Seneca. We will shout about Grace Obo and the rest. Yes, I agree. Yes, I agree. In this short period after investing, we want to get some benefit, and I can assure you that we have included in the agreement now that if they go to other universities, the university must accept that they need to make some contribution to our sports development in cash or in kind. We are still working on the process. It hasn't really worked out as we want, but we just started about 2 years ago to get that process going. We'll see how it works out. It is tough, but I wouldn't see it as a loss. Yes, we have supported Ghanaian youth, our students. We have created opportunities for them. That alone should be very gratifying.
I don't know about you, but I still don't think it's enough using your resources and just shouting about it. The schools that are gaining these top athletes should bring something back.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying we are working on. That's what I say. It is now included through our legal counsel. A clause has been put in the
schools. Have they agreed to it?
Well, you see, you also have to imagine that the universities are not then said these are the universities who want our youth. No, the university, there are thousands of them. Our youth apply or they come to poach. We don't know which one is coming, or we don't know which one who is going to apply for. So when we have the arrangement with the student, at least we know that there is this arrangement with the student, and if you get a scholarship in the process, just like the football development clause does, you also make sure that we are part of the agent or the unit or the section that developed you. You see, what I'm trying to say is the student has a maximum 4 years to be here. Whatever you do after the 4 years, the student will leave you anyway. This is just as your child, like your child. Maybe from 14 years when the student starts going to boarding house, you've started losing the child. At 18, 19, goes to the university, becomes even less. After university, maybe it's over. At some point, you have to let go. But what you have to make sure about is your reward is seeing that person or those persons flourish. The training and the upbringing you have done. You don't have to say, bring the money now, that immediate gratification. And it is a very complex situation. They are individuals. Some of them even come to the university as minors. You can't, oblige them to stay within a certain contractual obligation. So there are a lot of complications. But what I'm saying is, we are happy that we can create these opportunities for them. But at the same time, we also know that we need to benefit. We have invested in them. We are working out a way of trying to benefit from them.
Okay, cool. A bit on the development of talent. I did a bit of digging when the UG goes to Fisu Fasu. Under your tenure, you can see that there's been clear growth in medal winning. Prominence of it is when the school went to, or you went to Kenya and got so many medals, where the 4x100 also broke the record. Would you say that your team has, over the years, evolved and in bringing in coaches to help them, these athletes not just become student athletes, but shape them and guide them in the way that they now understand that they are going to be national athletes? So they need to perform as national athletes.
Yes, of course. It is always at the back of our heads. It is always the central point, the focus. When we select, when we scout, we want to train them because we are in the academia, and scholastic sport means that you are doing sports in an academic environment. What you need to understand is there are two things to these students: academic work and sport. And we would like to support them to excel in both. That is why University of Ghana makes conscious effort to integrate and has integrated sports into its academic activities and curriculum. And that is what we try to do, that they should excel in both areas. So when we get them, we give them all the necessary support that they excel in both. That is the mentorship program I've given, extra classes or extra support for some of the athletes, making them to engage in sporting activities but coming back to do their academic work. So we do this consciously to support to facilitate and to enhance and encourage as well as to motivate. So we at the University of Ghana consciously do those things to make them excel in both areas.
Under your tenure, would you say...
And I think we have succeeded in doing that. That is exactly what you are seeing. We have developed them. They can get admission to other universities. There are even first-class students we have produced just today. One of them will be honored at the Great Hall and awarded, and the rest. We are doing that, and we have done that.
Would you say that all these policies he's put in place really show that these students have a proper balance, practical and successful academic life is worth it?
Yes, it is. Of course, you come to school, you want to be trained as a human resource. You've gotten that, you have an extra talent in sports, you are supported, you are enhanced, you are motivated, you are encouraged to excel. What more do you want? You excel in both. And that shows in the medal hall, Africa, West Africa. We are the champions of West Africa Sports Federation. We are the defending champions. We went to Kampala, African tennis. We won everything, 7 out of the 8 medals at stake, and so on and so forth. So you realize that we are working and we are moving on. Look at the various disciplines that participated in African Games. A lot of GUSA and UG students were in the teams. And so it has worked, it has succeeded, and I think we are doing something very right. That silent and patient investment, it is reaping fruit, it has reaped and will continue to.
Let's start wrapping up this interview. Would you say that your time at UG has been a success?
Yes, I would say my time at UG has been a success. Not only what I see myself, but what I hear, the testimonies. And I have to tell you something. Up until now, having come from Europe, having studied and come back, I realized that there were a lot of things I could do, or there are a lot of things I can do. And I feel that what I have given up until now is about 40 to 50% of what I can do and give. Oh yes, there is more. But you know, sometimes the context, the environment, the structures, the system, they don't allow you to give your maximum. But wherever I am put, I try to give my maximum. But I know that there are 50 to 60% more that I can give, and that can be you know, that we can benefit from as a school, as a university, as a city, as a country, as a region, as a continent. And I think it has been successful. The policies, they are reaping fruit. The infrastructure, from the ones we did from our own strength, and the one which have just come now, not only for the University of Ghana, but for the whole Ghana. It is a benefit for everybody, not only University of Ghana. Of course, University of Ghana has also given out something and has gotten something, but it is not remaining with the University of Ghana. It's coming to the whole of Ghana and the whole of West Africa. I think it has been a success. I think we can look back and say, Bella, bravo and well done. And I'll say, I am happy that I have relocated. I'm happy I got to come to the University of Ghana. I'm happy. I have absolutely no regret having come. Maybe my regret is I joined a particular committee and I thought it has been a mistake to join a particular committee. But those are, you know, the accidents of history. You have to move on, but no regret. I am very happy, very satisfied. I feel fulfilled, and I think I can do more. But I think there are many others who can also continue. But I feel satisfied and grateful to my Allah, my family, and my teachers, supporters, students, staff, my managers, my superiors, my administrators, and the rest.
People call you a think tank. People call you a tank of ideas. I'm particularly interested in what next you do. Give us a bit of, you know, some small insight as to what next for the University of Ghana Sports Directorate, because now you have a huge stadium, well refurbished, you have everything. What next for the University of Ghana Sports Directorate?
Well, I think it has to build on these things that have come. At some point, you have to leave the stage for others to come and do and continue. We have seen it all over. And I think it is time also to allow another ideas, other thoughts to come. And then I think I would want to see how we can improve sports in the country. We can enhance, we can research, we can work in the academia, we can teach, we can mentor, we can groom. Those are the areas I want to go in. I would now like to leave legacies, develop, enhance, motivate, encourage, build upon what we have done and move on. So people behind should come and take some of the aspects due to the training exposure that have been given, having left that legacy, and move on to train, to research, to leave further legacies that are written and that can be used as strategies.
Final question. Describe yourself in one word. Or a phrase or a word.
A change maker.
Great. Thank you.